What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Destiny. We are back in this beautiful world, and I'm going to be showing you guys another build. My last two build videos did surprisingly crazy well. So yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on the skills because that kind of just made the video like 20 minutes, which I don't really want. Essentially, guys, this build is going to be focused around the Gunslinger. Nevertheless, that's what it's going to be about, and we're going to be basically focusing on you being a damage dealer, just mass amount of damage, and be telling you guys if this build is amazing, because I'm pretty sure if you've ever thought of like how certain things work in Tangent, this probably popped into your mind, and yeah, okay, you'll see. Real quick here, guys, I didn't mention what the build is gonna try to achieve. Again, it's gonna be making you a damage dealer, but how it's gonna do that is by giving you your golden gun as quick as possible. So this is an intellect / super build, and alongside basically you just being a damage dealer, you're gonna find it. You probably already know what it is. Just if you guys, I would highly appreciate if you stuck around for the end. What I say at the end, because that's really what this video is also about. Alright, guys, so before we get into the must-have items, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the skills, try to do this real quick and just cover everything what I chose, not really explaining the other shit, just kind of the why I chose the things I chose, and yeah. Anyways, so as of the stats like armor, recovery, and agility, those are pretty much whatever you fancy. Go for like if certain activities call for certain things. Armor for nightfall, recovery for nightfall, have high agility for patrolling. All those kinds of things come into play, so just make up whatever you need to make up when it happens. Alright, so for the Gunslingers grenades, I didn't go with trip mine, although that was a tempting offer. It's kind of dangerous, can sometimes get you killed way more than an enemy can, so I just went with the first one, which is a nice PvE grenade, and yeah. As for jumps, I went with triple jump, just because it's nice to have 2 jumps, and you can kind of keep up with everyone else in that manner. Better control is also a great option, but yeah, back to the skills. So what I chose for my golden gun augment was not gunfighter. Now what gunfighter does is it decreases the your cooldown for golden gun. Now we're trying to get our golden gun as quick as possible, but I found with this on, it wasn't that important. I didn't see that much of a jump in terms of me getting my super back quicker. So with that being said, I did go with combustion, just because combustion is basically when you get a kill, the enemy explodes. With you having so much damage in your golden gun, you're gonna always get that kill, ergo always have that explosion. And yeah. And as of our throwing knife, that is a tacked on thing that we're not even focusing on really. Our melee is not that important with this build. I just went with incendiary blade just because it's an extra amount of damage, and it also looks nice when you whip a knife in someone and they glow with fire. Anyways. Again, the path you choose depends on your situation, so bleh. Alright, so for our first perk, I chose Gunslinger's Trance, which every precision kill increases your stability. This really helps with our weapon that we're going to be using. Little spoiler, it's going to be the Bad Juju. The Bad Juju does have a tiny bit of a kick, even with all the stability mods you can put on it. So I just went with this to add a little bit of stability to that gun, so it pretty much is just like a stayed still dot, which is awesome. Anyways, again, ways of whatever you choose are depending on your situation, so fuck 'em. Alright, so for our second Gunslinger perk, I chose Chain of Woe, which precision kills increase your weapon's reload speed. This was just, it's kind of an obvious one. All the other ones don't sound that great, like giving you an additional knife. Again, we're not spec for knife. And then the other one I think is giving you more golden gun accuracy, which is again not what we really want or need. Not accuracy, sorry, range I think it is. Because yeah, we're not gonna be sniping across the map. It's not that hard to get close to an enemy and like back the fuck off. Anyways. Alright, so we talked about the skills, now we're gonna talk about the actual gear that you're going to need and the things you're gonna try to strive for. Alright, so the thing you're going to want is a very high intellect, and on top of that, you're going to want a very high discipline. I don't have that high of discipline. The reason why is because for the Blade Dancer, which is what I primarily play, it doesn't really, their grenades are not that great, but for the Gunslinger, they are pretty damn good. That first grenade that you get is really, really good, actually. I actually ended up playing with it a lot and loved it so damn much. So yeah, step number 1, strive to get all your gear having intellect and discipline. Step number 2, get the weapon that is called the Bad Juju. Essentially, the Bad Juju has an exotic perk in it that basically has 3 exotic perks in the damn exotic perk. It's confusing, but it's crazy. What it does is, one of the main perks that it does is it actually gives you your super back quicker when you get a kill with a weapon, and that gun just does a lot of damage, and it also never has to reload, so it's just a solid weapon in general, and it also will give you your super back quicker. We're going for a build that increases our super. Over explanation, bam. Anyways, sorry. And the Bad Juju shouldn't be too bad actually acquiring it, because there's many ways how to get it. You can get it just from straight drops, or you can actually get it from a quest, a bounty, sorry, exotic bounty. So you can do it that way. The exotic bounty is pretty hefty though, so good luck with that. Anyways, so the last thing we're gonna need is the Celestial Nighthawk. Now this is the new thing that came with the House of Wolves, and this is where the build somewhat falters. This thing is the new House of Wolves armor exotic piece, and it's gonna be kind of hard to get. The Bad Juju is, you know, in its own right kind of hard, but this one, yeah, good luck. And honestly, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video before you decide, because I gotta tell you guys something about this build. Yeah. Anyways, what this thing does, what its special augment and reason why you need it, is it changes Golden Gun. It no longer gives you 4 shots, it gives you 1. But that 1 shot holds just as much damage as a Gjallarhorn. Now this is what the people have been saying for a long time now. It does the exact same amount of damage as Gjallarhorn. But Gjallarhorn has 3 fucking shots, or 2 or 3 shots. Like, so anyways, we'll get into that later. Anyways, so you're gonna want to do this, level all your shit up, make sure you get those exotic perks, and then you get this. I've probably been showing you guys gameplay behind all of this, and essentially, it's me just shooting the shit out of stuff with the bad Juju, and me barely getting my super, and I shoot a lot of shit, and I barely get my super. Now, this Nighthawk, honestly, is to me at least, a big disappointment. They kind of hyped it up to be a boss melter or a boss destroyer, and don't get me wrong, if you do get it and you do level it up, it's pretty neat. But it's not powerful. So what I mean by that is most of the time 3 golden gun shots, or even 4, because there's an exotic helmet, the Aculite Symbiote or something like that, gives you 4 shots, which most definitely will let you take down an elite. Whereas this one, you have 1 shot, which can definitely take down an elite, but that's it, you know, like they do the same thing. And even up against bosses, it's not gonna like destroy. And people have made the argument that it's like a Gjallarhorn, you know, it's like a Gjallarhorn shot. Yes, but the Gjallarhorn can hold like what, 4, 5 shots, 6 shots? This only holds 1, and it takes a long time for your super to come back. So it's like, this build is neat, but is it really useful and like a good solid build? Like, it's not like my Warlock build that focused on Nova Bombs, which really worked and kind of just fell into itself perfectly, whereas this one is kind of just you trying to get up your super because it has a massive amount of damage, but you're never going to need that damage, and if you are going to need it, it's not enough. For instance, I'm probably showing you guys me putting a bullet, a golden gun bullet, a big game bullet, which is what the exotic perk is called, in a big ass boss, and nothing fucking happens. It pretty much gets like a tiny little tick off of his health. Yeah, not that great in my personal opinion. So is it worth it? The build's fun, and again, if you have, I imagine most of you already have most of the gear that you're going to need to make the build, then you're fine. But blah, I didn't really like it, honestly. Like, I'm making this video because I really wanted to, that was my intent, to try to get all this stuff to make this video. But in all honesty, guys, the build is not that strong. The Nighthawk, I wish it really got buffed, because like maybe 2 shots of that magnitude would be fair. Honestly, like you get 2 shots to kill 2 things. That's generally it. You know, combustion doesn't have enough damage to kind of outright kill another person unless the thralls. So yeah, I don't know. The 1 shot, you're never gonna be. It can easily put down elites, but then again, I think 3 golden gun shots can do that in itself. Like, I don't think that's a big ooh. And also, if you get 1 shot and you miss, you're fucked, and which is like, you know, not a big deal, but it's kind of still ooh. And again, for people that don't have a Gjallarhorn, again, I would still suggest 3 shots opposed to the 1. It's an unpopular opinion, I think. I'm saying that this thing is not the greatest, but it's kind of true. In my personal opinion, when me just playing, I don't even play too much Gunslinger, but I switched back and forth between putting this thing on and off, and the 3 shots that put down most enemies, even most of the elites, was better than having 1 shot to put down 1 elite, or 1 shot for a thrall, you know what I mean? And with Keyhole, what essentially Keyhole does, it's another perk for big game hunt, and essentially it lets the bullet pierce through targets, so it can get 2 targets in 1, which, I mean, most enemies are not clumped up unless you're dealing with what are they called, Hive, which in that case you get a bunch of thrall, which if that's the case you just shoot a shotgun into that shit, or a fusion rifle and you're fixed. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by this, but on a side note, it is worth getting. This Celestial Nighthawk, it comes up in X year's loot, definitely get it. The reason why is because it just looks amazing. Like, it looks aesthetically phenomenal. Like, you may be like, oh, it just looks like, you know, an eagle face. A side note, and not a lot of people know, when you aim down sights with while wearing this, your eyes actually glow like a hawk's. It's kind of neat. Here's some gameplay. Bam, that's what it looks like. I probably already showed you, but yeah. So you guys tell me in the comments what your thoughts are on the Nighthawk. Maybe you guys are like, holy shit, you're so wrong. You know, it's so good. For people that don't have a Gjallarhorn, this is a great substitute. I disagree. I think, you know, a heavy machine gun would be better than this. Something. But anyways, guys, I digress. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I am Frost, and this was a build for these gunslingers. And essentially it was just a build that I think a lot of people would put it in their heads and be like, oh, yeah, that would probably be really powerful. Yeah, not really. It's really hard to accumulate enough things to get your super up, and when you do get your super up, you only have that 1 shot, and most enemies will go down with 3 golden gun shots on the norm. And they portrayed this as being a boss melter, but when you shoot a boss, it doesn't really do anything. like it tickles him. It's like, oh, it's like, great. I'm glad I freaking leveled this thing up. But anyways, guys, nevertheless, guys, hopefully you guys still enjoyed. Again, get this just Celestial Nighthawk just for the aesthetic value alone. It's amazing. The perk on it, wish it was stronger. Just on a side note, if this does get buffed, then this build is probably applicable then, and in that case, there'll be tons of comments saying, you're fucking wrong, dude, it's so amazing, it's the greatest. Which in that case, it's because it got buffed, or it's because people are just, or it's because I'm wrong. Anyways, nevertheless, guys, I'm Frost, and thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this is my rundown for the build for a Gunslinger, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and later, guys. God damn, my words are all over the place there. I noticed it. At least I didn't speak at like lightning speed last time. Remember the frickin' one videos I made, the Warlock video? Holy shit.
She failed, but won't stop fighting until her master's will is done. In its dying breath, the traveler released the ghosts to open doors.